Hi everyone, it's Chef Nunu from Feed Me Good and welcome to my kitchen. So today we're going to be making a beautiful take on Korean fried chicken, but I'm also going to spice it up. I'm going to actually make my really beautiful, and you know what, it's such a sexy sauce. It's basically a gochujang sauce, but what I do to mine is I actually add citrus to it. It's going to add some orange to it as well. So we're going to make small amounts. We've got a little bit of egg from our last video, so I was like, do you know what, why waste it? Just use it. So first thing we want to do is we want to slice up our chicken. So we're going to take on here. I'll put it over here so you can see. So before we start, I want to bash the chicken. So if you tenderize your meat before you start anything, it's going to be so much more tender when it comes to taking the marinade or even just, you know, doing the chicken itself, frying it. So pour like that. And it's very helpful for when you're angry. Perfect. Okay, next one. Perfect. So now we want to take off the nasty bits, which is just over here. So we're just going to literally slice this off and then take off that little nasty bit as well. Okay, so now you can do it different ways. You can literally make it as big pieces, but I'm going to make like a popcorn type of chicken. So I'm just going to slice it over here and then slice it again. Okay, and then slice it one more time. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut it into small pieces, okay? Like that. So instead of you guys going KFC or going Morley's, right? You can make this yourself, yeah? Because Korean fried chicken costs money and you can literally do so many different types of fried chicken at home. You don't need to go to these restaurants. You can make it at home yourself, okay? All right, so we cut that one in half. So you're basically having small pieces like that. What we want to do is we want to put it into our egg mixture straight. So we're just going to basically pour those in like that. We're going to take the other piece over here and we're going to take off all the nasty bits. If you are able to make this with either fish or if you want to have a vegan version, this is also going to be working really well for you as well. So normally you would want to like make your batter first and then afterwards you add your chicken to your batter. But I'm doing it the opposite way where I'm making my batter in the chicken, okay? So what we're going to do now, I'm adding some gluten-free flour, but you can add some normal flour. So I'm just having some gluten-free because I want to make, well, I'm gluten intolerant, so I don't want to be having gluten if I don't need to. But if you are not, then you are fine. I'm going to add another egg to this. You don't normally have to add eggs. So when you do Korean fried chicken, what makes their one more crispy is that they actually add potato starch. Potato starch basically gives that crispiness element to it as well. So what I want to do now, I'm going to add a little bit of oil and water. Oh, sorry, spillage on aisle 9. There we go. I want to season this up. I didn't get to season the last one, so I'm going to add some garlic powder to this. And come out for me. There we go. Got to save the rest of it for the sauce. We're also going to be adding some barbecue seasoning. So you don't have to do this. It's probably going to give my Jamaican bit of a mix. And then now what we want to do, we're going to mix it up. But before we do, we're going to add a little bit of black pepper. Okay. And now we want to mix it up. So you're basically making like a batter. Yeah. Mix it, mix it, mix it. And it's going to make it crispy. So how the Koreans do it is that they double fry the chicken, and that's how they make Korean fried chicken. So you fry it once to kind of like cook it a little bit, and then you fry it again to finish the cooking, and that makes it really crispy. When you do use gluten flour, it's going to be much more of a thicker batter. But if you've got like, you know, intolerances or you've even SEN as well, special needs, having gluten-free is going to really help. So you can make gluten-free fried chicken. It's very easy. So now I'm having like a nice mixture. And I'm going to keep my hands like this because I'm going to start frying. So let's turn on the fire. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to put on a high heat. So I'll say about 7 or 8. So I'm just waiting for it to bubble up a bit more. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I just drop. So I dropped a couple drops into the oil. Now they're starting to float up, so they're starting to bubble. So I'm going to leave it for maybe like another minute. And it's going to start to float up. And as you guys can see, it's starting to heat up as well. Okay. So now what you want to do is, you just want to drop it in. You see that I'm going close to the pan. So I'm not scared of the oil. It's better to do this way than to literally throw it straight in there. Okay. So I'm just going to do like that. I'm going to put one more. That's it. So remember I said to you guys, we're going to fry it first for a few minutes. We're going to take it out and then we can double fry it. Or we could just fry it and then we can toss it straight into the mixing bowl. And remember I was saying to you guys, you have to use clean oil. We had to change the oil because we used it before. So look at it, it's starting to get very crisp. Okay. And dip. So you can literally fry it twice. So this is the first fry. And that's how they get it to be so crispy. So the first fry is kind of like to cook it. And the second fry is to make it really crispy. Okay, that's the first one done, as you guys can see right now. So now let's make the next set. So we're basically double frying this, right? So right now we've got the first one and it's still crispy, but not as much. You want to get more of that. So before we start, we're just doing the last batch for that. Let me show you guys how to make my special sauce. So what you want to do, you want to get a bowl and you want to get an orange. Be careful. And basically what you want to do, I'm going to actually take out half of it because I actually want to use it for decoration as well. So what I'm going to do is, let me see the best way. Okay, this is all right. So you've got some orange here. I'm going to slice this in half and slice it in half again. And then this is going to be for our garnish with our chicken, okay, as well. So what you want to do now is you want to take a couple things. The first thing you want to do is get your gochujang, which is over here. Do not worry. We're going to add the gochujang, which is a Korean chili paste, into our bowl. And don't worry, all the recipes are going to be in the website or in the description below. Perfect. That's one. So you've got the gochujang. Now we want to add in a little bit of soy sauce. Now soy sauce you don't really have to add, but I'm going to add a little bit. And then now we want to also add some garlic powder. You can add some fresh garlic, but I've just got some garlic powder, so I'm going to be using that in there. I love me garlic, guys, I'm not going to lie. And then now we want to add in our mirin, or you can use rice vinegar as well. And we want to add in our sugar, which is over here. That's going to be giving it the sweet factor. There we go. You can use honey as well if you want to. And then we're also going to be using some sesame seed oil. And then what you want to do is you want to mix it a little bit. And then what you want to do now, we want to squeeze in the oranges as well. So you can put some zest in it if you want to as well. It's one of my favourite things to do. I'll just squeeze that in. And what I find is when you make the sauce with the, the chicken's nearly there. When you make the sauce with the citrus, it actually tones down the heat of the gochujang. So that's like a really cool tip. If you find that it's something so spicy, add citrus to it, it will bring down the heat. Okay, now I want my hands. Let's just quickly check on our little chickens before we start mixing. So these are getting quite crispy. Okay, so now what we're doing, we're going to put it back into the pan now. Alright, so now we're going to basically add all our chicken pieces back into the frying pan, okay? We're basically going to double fry them. Maybe what you can do is put, no, we can all fit in actually. Everyone into the pot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix it together. Now what I can do is actually put this in the microwave and it will heat up, or you can heat it over the stove, and it just makes a really nice citrus gochu. So I'm going to put this in the microwave for about a minute to get heated up, and that's going to be tossed into our gochu. So obviously if you want to, you can clean out the pan, the mixing bowl, and we're going to literally toss all these beautiful pieces into this sauce. Okay, so you put it in the microwave. So you could do two ways. You can put it in the microwave for like a minute and then just let it melt away like this, or you can put it over the stove and then also make it reduce to make the sauce. Okay, so normally, I mean, I don't always put nuts because my nephew has a nut allergy, but if you haven't got a nut allergy and you want to add some nuts, I just put some chopped nuts, hazelnut, but if you want to also add almonds or peanuts even, they also go. But obviously, if you haven't got a nut allergy, okay? So now I've cleaned up my bowl, and now I'm going to put my chicken. So I'm kind of clean up a little bit. So put that there. So I'm going to put my chicken into here now. So do you see this, guys? Even though I put everything into the pan, they all crisped up really well, but you really want to do it in 2 batches, okay? So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to take out my chicken. Oh, look at that. Now it's crispy. So when you do the double fry, it really makes a difference. Okay. All right. So now we turn off our oil. And now what we do, we take our mixture and we just pour. Do you hear that? That sizzle. All over. And you just toss. So you just want to toss it over. And it's going to be nicely coating everything. Oof, this is nice. You hear that crispiness, guys? Why you need to go and buy a takeaway when you can make it yourself, eh? You don't need to buy a takeaway. Look at this. This is delicious. So what we want to do is we want to add maybe a couple more things to it. So I thought which plate would go well. So let's just put that here for a second. Now I've got some spring onions. So I basically want to take the top bits and just slice it up a little bit. So it can just be roughly sliced, just to kind of give like a garnish. And now what we want to do is put our lovely chicken right here in the center. Oh, look at that, guys. Oof, this is absolutely stunning. And you want to get that sauce out, guys. You want to get that sauce, that gorgeous red citrusy sauce. Oh yes, man. Oof. Okay, I'm going to just make it into the center a bit more, and then we're going to add a little bit of garnish over it, so just a bit of roughly over. And now what we're going to do is add a little bit of nuts. So this is really optional, guys. I just found that the nuts with the chicken taste really good, okay? From my kitchen to yours, Korean fried chicken, hot and spicy style. Well, hot and sweet style, actually.